So Saturday was the best you guys have played offensively in how long?
In a while. And then, we still felt like we could have played even better with obviously way too many turnovers. But I just loved our guys' focus. It's the most complete game we've played on both ends. So timing was good. And now we know that it wasn't like we pitched a shutout, played a perfect game. We can still improve, but really proud of a lot of the things we've been working on. They carried over to the game. The biggest thing really is talking about getting back to the Beaver way, really celebrating each other, playing for each other, sharing it on both ends. That's what we challenged the guys with. They did it. The neat thing is we saw what it led to.
Coach, you talked about wanting to see some of the guys off the bench, rise to the level to play a little more, and you played some of those guys early Saturday. What did you see from the change from Thursday to Saturday, and what do you need to see going forward to make sure they can keep getting that rotation?
It's funny because you got people that watch you play games. They're not in the gym watching you practice each and every day. And so, our thought was coming in to the UCLA game was really a mindset shift from non-conference to league. And it wasn't like we had a predetermined, we're going to play less guys or any of that. It was just a lot of it's just kind of the gut. And I think the neat thing was how they responded when they were called upon. A little bit of jitters, I think, early for some of the guys. But the neat thing is how they settled into the game and into the flow. And depth, we've always said, is going to be a key for us, especially when those guys produce off the bench. And we saw that on Saturday. And it was nice to see and get those guys kind of refocused. And we're going to need it, especially, moving forward this week. We got 2 tough games on the road. So I think it built a lot of confidence from top to bottom, even the starters understanding they got guys that can come in for them and produce for us.
Just your early thoughts on this first Pac-12 road trip coming up.
Yeah, challenging. Both teams have played well at home. In particular, Washington State built a lot of confidence at home in the non-league. So we know it's going to be, tough, but that's kind of the next step for this group. We didn't have much success on the road a year ago, even though this is a new team. A lot of the guys are a year older, but we've got to now kind of take that mental, winning on the road really comes down to mental toughness and discipline, and then that connectivity that we saw last weekend. So those will be the things that we harp, but, you see what's going around in our league, and you can't start worrying about all these other teams you haven't played yet. But it's pretty open, and we feel like as we continue to build and improve, we're going to be able to get to where we need to go. But first road trip of the year, can't look past anything other than what's right in front of us here Thursday, obviously. But we want to get in there and feel like we can compete with Washington State, and we know if we do the things we're supposed to, we'll give ourselves a chance to win.
What did you think was the best thing Tyler did on Saturday?
Just played with a different level of confidence. Excuse me. He didn't play, so kind of nervous and edgy. And that's been the big thing is, he's got a ton of experience last year, but we remind ourselves he is a sophomore. He's got to play with confidence and not be in a hurry. And I think he really slowed down. I give him credit. He's come in, he's watched film. We've done some stuff one-on-one. And we're going to need that. Washington State, they're a team that's caused some troubles for teams defensively, and they're a team that goes to zone. We feel like he's a guy, and the coaches did a great job preparing him against USC for what we thought, there'd be some openings for him in the zone, and he, hit a bunch of, baseline jumpers, free throw line jumpers. So when he plays, kind of frees his mind up and plays hard and plays focused with that confidence, he's a different level, and it was great to see that, and we'll challenge him to do that more consistently. He's such a great kid. We know what he's capable of. Sometimes he puts a little bit too much pressure on himself, and he's just got to relax and go play because he's so skilled, that he can do a lot of different things.
I'm sure you've been asked about this before, but since you're playing Washington State, what's it been like just, the unique bond now between these schools? What's it been like seeing the leadership with Murthy and Schultz over there at Wazoo, and now that the lawsuit is settled and you got a conference in the future for the next couple of years? What's the last month been like seeing all that?
Yeah, it's just great. It's great to see how the two universities and the leadership within have really rallied to fight for us. And I've got a good relationship with Coach Smith. He's done a nice job there. But, make no bones about it. When the season started, we're focused on our teams and that sort of thing. But there is a little bit of kinship there, and the two remaining pieces and the two that are going to be responsible for hopefully reshaping the conference somewhere down the road. But it's a game that we want to go and try to get a win, and maybe in the off season we can have a beer and talk about it. But we're going to be getting after it, I'm sure, on Thursday.
Coach, after that USC game, you made a comment about being comfortable recruiting maybe guys who aren't at the Power 5 level and developing them into those players. I just kind of wanted to follow up on that, maybe some specific examples of those guys and guys who have really stood out in that development.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to try to recruit to the way you play, and we're big on accountability and putting the team first and kind of the pride and tradition of the program and the university. And I'm not saying that we wouldn't recruit 4 and 5 stars across the board and that sort of thing, but we've felt like we've done a really good job finding kind of under the radar guys and then developing them and selling them on what's important and kind of our mission. And we feel like after the season 3 years ago, we made a commitment to getting back to some of those guys, and knowing that it would take some time to rebuild. We feel like we're still in the middle of that process, but we like the direction we're going. You look up and down our roster, and there's not a lot of guys that are were recruited by other Pac-12 schools that we beat out, and it's just the way it is. You see a lot of programs are working the portal, and they've had success doing it. It's just we feel like we've got to do things a little bit differently here at Oregon State. And I just know we love the guys we've got, and we feel very confident in the fact that if we get them playing the right way, we can beat anybody in the conference. So that's what we'll stay focused to.